Hello everyone, this is Sivarth. In this video, we'll talk about the important articles that were in news on 7th June 2023. Here we'll look three articles. Okay, uh, the first one is about a national park in Africa. The second one is about a report that has been released by think tank PRS Legislative Research. And as per this report, in the year 2022, the state assemblies across the country they made for an average number of sittings that is 21 days. Okay, in the entire year they have made for only 21 days, and which is a very less. How can I say that very less? When I compare this number with the recommended minimum number of sittings by the NCRWC, later we will talk in detail. Okay, and the third article we will discuss today is about a tropical cyclone, that is before Joy. Okay, before Joy. Here we will look how the naming of the tropical cyclones occur. Okay, these are the three articles. Okay, let's talk about this report first. Okay, uh, as I just discussed, that this report has been released by PRS Legislative Research, and as per the report, average number of sittings in the year 2022 is 21 days, and which is very less. How it is less? That when we compare it with the recommendations. Okay, recommendations, and like we know that the parliament or the state legislative assemblies, they have three sessions in a year. Okay, like budget session, which is followed by monsoon session, then winter session. Okay, so no mandatory that it is not mandatory that the legislative bodies they will hold all the three sessions, but yes, it is a convention that budget session, then monsoon session, then winter session. Okay, similarly, number of days that has not been fixed, that for such number or for such days or for such sittings must be held or must be conducted by legislative bodies. But yes, the commission, okay, national commission to review the working of the constitution, okay, this commission has recommended as a minimum number of sittings for different legislative bodies. Okay, we'll look it in detail. Before we'll try to connect this current affair with our static. Okay, in our polity book Lakshmikant. Okay, the last chapter usually we all, okay, generally we all don't read by that time we burn out. Okay, that chapter. Okay, chapter number 80. Okay, chapter number 80, that is NC, National Commission to review the working of the constitution, this chapter. Okay, in this chapter here we will talk about only this portion, that is the recommendations of the commissions. Okay, recommendations of the commission. And before going to have the current affair discussion, let me discuss few things about the NCRWC. Okay, let me set the background for you so that you can connect this current affair with your static. Okay, let me write few things. Okay, with respect to constitution, you have to remember two important days. Okay, and one among the days has been asked by UPSC in 2023 prelims. Okay, that is 26th, if I say 26th November 1949. Okay, 1949, then what comes to your mind? Yes, on this date the constitution was adopted. Okay, remember, adopted. Okay, I'm circling the word adopted by the Constituent Assembly. Okay, and on 26th January 1950, on this date the constitution came into force. Got it? So I will circle force, and this thing has been asked in your prelims in 2023 prelims paper. It is set A and question number 85. It is saying that 26th November each year is celebrated as Constitution Day. Okay, And why it is celebrated as Constitution Day? Because on this date in the year 1949 the Constituent Assembly adopted the Constitution. Okay, that's why it is celebrated as Constitution Day. Okay, so remember these two dates. Okay, in prelims you may confuse between 26th November and 26th Jan, but yes, in 26th Jan, okay, in the latter part, in the 1950 the Constitution came into force. Okay, so I will take this year as a thread for our further discussion, that in 1950 our constitution came into force. That means whatever provisions in the constitution, they must have been kept there with the view or keeping in mind the socio-economic conditions. Okay, socio-economic conditions of that socio-economic conditions of the society by then, the developmental needs of the society by then. Yes or no? Developmental needs. So by 2000 a debate started that the society has been developed since 1950, and the developmental needs are also increasing, human aspirations are also increasing. So does the provisions which were kept in the constitution in 1950 still they are relevant to cater the present day developmental needs? This was the debate. Okay, this was the question. So with this a commission was established, that is National Commission to Review the Working of the Constitution. Okay, NCRWC. It was established in 2000. Okay, and it gave its report in 2002. Okay, and the number of recommendations, it recommended 249 recommendations. Okay, 249 recommendations it gave. Usually committees or commissions, they gave recommendations, and out of those recommendations government accept few things. Okay, so it gave 249 recommendations. So the question arises that in between 1950 and 2000, why such question didn't came to our legislatures or to our parliamentarians? Why didn't such questions came? It is not like that. The question came, but the committees or the commissions created or established during these 50 years, their job was different. Okay, they like the committees or commissions, whatever they established in these 50 years, they were specifically reviewed, or they reviewed specific part of constitution. Okay, specific part of constitution. And how these committees are different, or they are different than this committee, okay, or this commission NCRWC, it reviewed the constitution comprehensively. Okay, comprehensively, like our new education policy. Okay, it is comprehensively dealing with our education system, comprehensive dealing. Okay, similarly the committees which were established in these 50 years, they were dealing with the specific parts, but NCRWC, it was dealing the constitution entirely, comprehensively. Okay, this is how NCRWC is different. Okay, and it gave 249 recommendations. For our convenience, we can divide, or we can group these recommendations into 8 to 10 parts. Okay, so for example, like I will take you to the polity book. Okay, suppose he gave 249 recommendations. Okay, 249 recommendations, but for our convenience we can select some recommendations which are related to fundamental rights. We are club them here. Okay, and he had also given recommendations on property. Got it? Similarly on directive principles, fundamental duties. So recommendations, we can club it under different headings. Okay, This we will try to remember or try to recall. Okay, try to recall few committees here, in these committees. Okay, and only those committees that were mentioned in NCRWC. In these 50 years, many committees or commissions were established, but we will try to recall or remember only those committees that are mentioned in the report of NCRWC. Okay, NCRWC. For example, in your 1966, okay, 1966, first ARC was established. First ARC was established, and it was established to deal with the administrative aspects of center state. Okay, administrative aspect of center state. In 1969, YB Chaban. This committee was established to deal with anti-defection. Okay, anti-defection. You all know this schedule. Anti-defection, that is 10th schedule. Yes or no? 10th schedule. And in 1976, okay, this year you all know that Swaran Singh committee. This committee recommended for the introduction of fundamental duty into the constitution. Okay, and in 1983, the Sarkaria Commission, okay, very famous Sarkaria Commission, it was established, and it dealt with the center state relation. Okay, center state relation. Then again in 1990, okay, 1990, your Dinesh Goswami committee. Dinesh Goswami. Can you recall that this committee related to what? Yes, this is related to your electoral reforms. Okay, electoral reforms. Again in 1998, another committee related to election came, that is Indrajit Gupta committee. Okay, dealt with the funding pattern of election. Okay, state funding of elections. 1999, law commission. Okay, law commission came with its 170th report, that is also related to election. Okay, election. So these three are related to election. Okay, so we discussed here few committees or commissions that have been placed in your in the report of NCRWC. NCRWC is saying that yes, it is not only in the year 2000 that the review of the provisions of the constitution was conducted, and not like that. In the between the 1950 and 2000, many committees or commissions were established, like first ARC, YB Chaban, Swaran Singh, Sarkaria Commission. Okay, these committees were reviewed certain specific parts of the constitution, as I mentioned, like interstate relation, anti-defection, fundamental duty. Okay, but NCRWC dealt or reviewed the constitution comprehensively. That's why so many recommendations. Okay, so many recommendations, 249 recommendations. Okay, and our current affair, today's current affair, it is talking about that minimum number of sittings. Okay, minimum number sittings, and this thing comes under your and state legislature. Okay, like as I said, 249 recommendations has been grouped into certain parts for our convenience, and we can consider this minimum number sittings under this category. Okay, this category, this is the recommendation. I have translated this information into a table format here. You can take this screenshot and copy paste into your book. Okay, so it is saying that the minimum number of sittings for the legislative bodies, like you can remember like this, that the highest number of days assigned to Lok Sabha. Okay, Lok Sabha 120 days, minimum 120 days 120 days sittings must be conducted in Lok Sabha. For Rajya Sabha it is 100 days. Okay, and in case of state legislatures where the members number of members is less than 70, the minimum number of sitting is 50. If the members are more than 70, then the sitting will be 90 days. Okay, 90 days. So remember this thing: 120, 100, okay, 90 and 50. Okay, so as per this news is saying that on an average only 21 days they met in the year 2022. Okay, but the recommendation is 50 or 90, so it is very less. Okay, this was the news. Just revise. Let's talk about this national park. Very simple. Okay, Kafue National Park. This national park, in exam they confuse you between Zambia and Zimbabwe. Okay, the right answer is Zambia. The Kafue National Park, it is in Zambia, and it is the third largest national park in Africa. Okay, third largest national park in Africa. And why it is in news that recently there is increase in the population of lion and leopard after 50 years of poaching, because of anti poaching anti poaching activities and strong surveillance. Because of this, there has been seen in the improvement of the populations of lion and leopard. This much news only. Okay, just remember that Kafue National Park, it is the third largest national park in Africa, and it is in the country Zambia, not in Zimbabwe. Okay, and the third article is about a cyclonic storm Biparjoy that was developed in the southeast Arabian Sea in the month of June, and it is a Bengali name, Biparjoy. Its meaning in English is disaster. Okay, Biparjoy, disaster. Okay, and as I said, we'll talk about how the naming of the cyclonic storms happens. That you all know that WMO, okay, World Meteorological Organization, has given certain guidelines, and by following these guidelines, okay, across the globe, there are six regional specialized meteorological centers. Okay, RSMC. No need to remember, but just for understanding you can have a look. Okay, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 RSMC. One among them is our IMD, okay, Indian Meteorological Department. It is one RSMC. Okay, one RSMC. And there are how many RSMC? 6 RSMC. Okay, 6. And there are TCWC, Tropical Cyclone Warning Centers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 6 RSMC and 4 TCWC. These are two organizations. Okay, they have been assigned with that they will list out namings of tropical cyclones in advance. They will collect the names for the cyclones. Okay, for the cyclones, and they will also alert the nearby countries about the development of or the severity of the cyclone. Okay, these institutions have assigned with naming, and they will they will give early warning to the neighboring countries. Okay, and as per the guidelines of WMO, they will list out cyclone names, and as and when any cyclone happens, the names given in the list, that name will be assigned to the cyclone. Okay, so we'll take the IMD list. Okay, IMD list. Let me check. In the year 2020, okay, 2020, in the year 2020, IMD had released a list of fresh names. Okay, fresh names, and those names has been collected from 13 North Indian Ocean countries. Okay, North Indian Ocean. This is Indian Ocean. Okay, Indian Ocean, and these are the 13 North Indian Ocean countries, and each country has given 13 names. Okay, 13 countries, and each have given 13 names, so in total 169 names. Okay, this is the table having 169 names. Okay, 169 names. Suppose this is, and these countries, 13 countries has been arranged alphabetically, and Bangladesh has given 13 names, India has given 13 names. Okay, Iran has given 13 names, like this. But the naming will continue this column wise. Okay, column wise. Suppose this is Biporjo. Okay, in June Biporjo developed in Arabian Sea, and after this, if any cyclone develops in Arabian Sea or Bay of Bengal or in Indian Ocean, then this name will be taken. Okay, this name, thereafter this, like this, the naming will continue. Okay, so discuss something about WMO. WMO, World Meteorological Organization. It was established in the year 1950, and it is a specialized agency of UN. You know that there are how many number of specialized agencies? Yes, UN has 15 specialized agencies. Okay, whenever we come across the specialized agency in news, we will discuss like this. Okay, so among the 15, one is World Meteorological Organization. It is a specialized agency of UN, and the parent organization is ECOSOC. You know that UN has 6 principal organs. How many principal organs? 6. One among them is ECOSOC. Under ECOSOC falls the World Meteorological Organization. Okay, so in interview or anywhere, if you asked that what is or something about WMO, you can say that it is a specialized agency. Okay, under the parent organization ECOSOC. Okay, and it was established in the year 1950. So let me summarize what we discussed today. Okay, what we discussed today, that we discussed 3 articles. Okay, 3 articles. One is about Kafue National Park. Kafue National Park, where it is located, Zambia or Zimbabwe? Zambia. Okay, Zambia. Then we discussed about a report released by PSR legislative research about the minimum number of sittings, and here we discussed that Lok Sabha minimum number of sitting is 120 days as per the National Commission to review the working of the Constitution. Okay, 120 days. Then Rajya Sabha minimum number is 100 days. Then your state legislative assemblies, those having less than 70 members, for them the minimum number is 50, and those having more than 70, for them the minimum number is 90. Okay, remember like this. Okay, just read it 2 to 3 times, you can remember it. You can use it in your mains also. Okay, and the last article was about a tropical cyclone named Biporjoy. Here we discussed that naming, how the naming happens, that there are 6 regional, like here we discussed, no need to remember, but remember that IMD has released a list of names. Okay, in 2020, 169 names. From where these names came, that 13 North Indian Ocean countries, they each gave 13 names. So so in total 169 names. Okay, 169 names. And remember one thing, once a name is used, then it is expired. Suppose this time Biporjoy used, then it will be replaced with another new name. Okay, it can't be used again. Okay, and one more thing, why the naming, we do name or we give a name to cyclones? Because sometimes what happens, suppose in Arabian Sea a cyclone Biporjoy happen, it is very high chance that in the same day or in the same time there can be development of another cyclones. So you don't know that, you never know that in which angle they will move towards the, or in which angle they will landfall. Okay, so to distinguish between them, we can, it is better to name them. Okay, name them, so that we can follow which cyclone is going to land where. Okay, that's why naming is important. Okay, this much, and the PDF will be available in our Telegram channel. Okay, Thank you for this discussion.